Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This video I'm going to be going over everything that I wish I knew about newborn babies. This video is a continuation on my friend Maddie and I's series all on being a first-time mom. And this video I am super excited because we are partnering with another YouTube mama on here. Her name is Katie Powell and she makes very similar content to Maddie and I's channel. She has two little girls and I'm pretty sure she's 24, so she's a young mama like us. Definitely after this video make sure you check out Maddie and Katie's channel. I will have them both linked in the description box below. And if you are here from Maddie or Katie's channel, welcome. I am seriously so happy to have you here. A little bit about myself. My name is Allie. I am married to my childhood sweetheart and we have two kids, a little girl named Everly who is 3 and a little boy named Truett who is 1, and I'm 26. Oh my gosh, I'm 26. I literally just turned 26 and I keep thinking I'm 25. It's like so weird. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. If you are ever watching a YouTube video or scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you start to feel like a bad mom, you start to feel down about yourself, if that video makes you have any negative feelings about yourself in motherhood, click off that video. It is not worth it. There are many YouTubers that I watch personally that I've had to stop watching because whenever I do, I either compare myself or I just start to feel bad about myself when it comes to motherhood, and I just won't watch them anymore. Not that I think they are a bad person or a bad mother. Usually they're great mothers, but they just don't make me feel confident. The point of a video or any type of content is to either be relatable or it's supposed to be inspiring. And if you don't feel either of those things, do not watch it. It is honestly amazing the technology that we have these days, and we are able to do so much research to help ourselves in motherhood. But also it is very easy for us to compare and for us to be down on ourselves about motherhood. There are times where you're going to feel lonely. There are times where you're going to feel so overwhelmed. There are times where you're gonna even be sad. And if you have those feelings, that does not mean that you are a bad mom. That does not mean that you do not love your child. You are very valid in having all of those feelings. Can we acknowledge that yes, motherhood is amazing and it is so rewarding, but it is also so hard. I wish so much that someone would have said that to me. I would have been so less hard on myself for having any of those emotions. It doesn't mean that you don't love your baby. It doesn't mean that you're a bad mom, because I know I'm an awesome mom. I am so good at being a mom. My kids feel loved. My kids feel safe. My kids feel wanted. My kids feel important. So I know I am doing a good job. And if your kids feel that way, you are doing a good job. First, I'm gonna take a drink because I got a lot of good information for you guys, let me tell you. Also a tip, if you're about to begin motherhood, get one of these bad boys. You will always forget to drink water. And a big thing like this helps so much. This first one, I personally have not experienced, but I have many friends and know many people who have experienced this, so I know it's extremely normal. And it is so normal if you take a little bit of time to bond with your baby. I know when you're pregnant, you just think your baby's gonna come out and you're gonna have all these like butterfly feelings like, oh my gosh, my baby. And sometimes that is the case, but it's not always the case. And that's okay. There is so many different types of emotions and hormones that go into having a baby. And it might take time for you to bond. That does not mean you're a bad mother. So if you have your baby and you're like, why don't I feel connected to them? Why am I not having that like instant bond moment? It will happen, I promise. With both of my babies, that first night, they slept like a champ. I would say I was able to rest, but like I had terrible night sweats right after I gave birth to both of my babies, so I really did not sleep great. But my babies did. And the second night, y'all, oh my goodness, they want to feed for hours. It will feel like they're feeding for like 7 hours straight. And I'm pretty sure that's how it is for most babies. So just get ready for that second night, okay? It can be very scary leaving the house for the first few times with your baby. And that brings me into the next one. And that is, I really highly recommend practicing putting on carriers, practicing putting on different slings, practice your car seat, putting that in and out of the car, buckling up, just so that you feel very confident with your baby instead of having them being like, okay, now I'm trying to figure out how to put this carrier on and all these, because honestly, they can be a little bit complicating at first sometimes. So already having that down pat is seriously going to give you so much confidence. Keep a good close eye out for like tongue ties and lip ties and things like that. I definitely would do a little bit of research into what to look for, because that can really affect their feedings. And just to have that on the back of your mind, like, okay, why is my baby having a really hard time and I feel like I'm doing everything right, but they're still not getting it. They could have a lip tie or a tongue tie, and you could be able to spot it and solve that much quicker. Okay, this third one happened to me and it freaked me out. And I don't think this happened with my first baby, but with my second it did. So when Truett was like new baby, he was puking, which is like a normal baby thing, you know, but he was like puking this like yellow chunky stuff. That's like the best way I can put it, and it like freaked me out. I remember taking a picture. I don't know if I'm gonna insert the picture because I still have it, but that might be kind of disturbing, I don't know. I talked to my doctor about it, my pediatrician, and he was like, yep, that's totally normal. It's just like when they come out, they can swallow a lot of fluid, and so when they puke, it kind of like comes out with the puke, and it can take like a few weeks or so for that to like totally come out. So if you see some yellow stuff in your baby's puke, it's okay. The next thing is your newborn baby is going to have very flaky skin. The first like few days, their skin is like so beautiful and perfect, but then it like starts to flake off and you're like, what's going on? And the reason for that is because when they are inside your body, they have this like film over them. It's like protecting their skin. It's called vernix. After they come out, they shed that film, and then their skin just like has to get used to like not being inside of you, and so their skin like flakes off. You don't need to try to pick at it. Just let it do its thing. It's totally normal. Another thing that my second baby had a lot more of than my first baby is he actually was born with some. It's like these little like white dots on their face. It almost looks like little whiteheads, but you don't need to pick at them at all. They're actually from your milk. And then another thing a newborn baby gets is acne. Both of my babies got acne. Not bad, but they did. I think most babies do. And it's just because their skin is so delicate and they're just getting used to being in the outside world. This next one was a huge one for me. I did not know about and freaked me out. Okay, so babies do not breathe like we do. So they do something called periodic breathing. What periodic breathing is like slight pauses in their breathing and then like rapid breathing. Occasionally catching a breath is actually all part of their development in their diaphragm. And I remember with Everly, we were actually at a restaurant and she was asleep. And you know, like when you're a new parent, you're always like, are you breathing? Are you okay? She was sleeping and I was like checking on her to make sure she was breathing okay. And she wasn't. And I swear it was like forever. I was like, are you gonna breathe? Are you gonna breathe? It was just about that moment where I'm about to pick her up and be like, what's wrong with you? Is when she started breathing again. And I was like, what the heck happened? So I Googled. You'll probably do a lot of that in the early stages, and that's where I learned about periodic breathing. So if that happens to you, it's totally normal. It's what babies do. Okay. Newborn babies sneeze so much, and it's not because they're cold or they're sick, so you don't need to freak out and being like, oh my gosh, my baby already has a cold. And it's simply just because that is how they clear their airway, their respiratory system, just from different airborne particles. And also you may notice that they sneeze like right after they are nursing, and that's actually just to like open up their nose again. So very interesting. Simple things that you don't really think twice about that you do on a regular basis is going to sometimes feel like an impossible thing. Whether that be going to the bathroom, whether that be switching over a load of laundry, whether that be taking a shower. Literally all those like little things that you do and don't really think much about are going to become so hard. Oh man, I still am feeling this, and my kids are 3 and 1, so yeah, it's probably just gonna be like that for a while. Enjoy that while you are still pregnant, being able to go to the bathroom, start taking a nice long shower, because it's not gonna be like that for much longer. Follow your baby's signals and their cues. You can actually do a little bit of research when it comes to this, because a lot of cues for babies are about the same. I noticed this more with Truett than with Everly. With Everly, I guess I just didn't really look out for this like I did with him, but anytime he is tired, he will start to like mess with his ear. So before he starts to cry, he'll start just like doing this with his ear, and I'll know, okay, he's ready for his nap. Another thing is if they're like being overstimulated, they'll like look away and not want to look at you. Another one is when they're hungry, they'll start to root, they'll start looking around for it, or they'll start putting their hand in their mouth. These are just cues that you can keep an eye out so that you can react to them before they start to get really fussy. Make sure you are not overstimulating your baby. Honestly, the first like 5 weeks, just faces and surroundings are stimulating enough. You don't need to be putting like a whole bunch of toys in their face and different things like that, because that's a lot for a little newborn baby. So just make sure that you are not overstimulating, because that can lead to them being fussy, and that can also lead to them not being able to fall asleep good and not have a good night's sleep. Another thing that I really wish I knew was babies have something called leaps. What leaps are is they are different leaps in their mental state, and it starts from about week 5 to 17 months. You need to go and you need to download the Wonder Week app if you have not yet. I don't like to use this to like stress about. I like to have the Wonder Weeks app because it just helps me know what's getting ready to come, or if I'm noticing Truett is being extra fussy about something, I like to see, okay, where are they at like in their development, and it tells you exactly what your baby is going through mentally during that leap. Truett right now is on leap 8, and with leap 8, Truett enters the world of programs, and different signals for leaps are they can be crying more than usual, they're more clingy, they're grumpier, they sleep poorly, they're happy one moment and then sad the next. And something else is really cool, they'll give you different tips on how you can help them in each leap. So for Truett right now, they're saying that I should start drawing with him, building toys, and also grocery shopping. But again, that is not something to stress out about if your baby is not doing exactly what the app is saying. This is just something that can kind of help you see what they're going through if you are noticing like them showing any of those signs, if that makes sense. The next thing that is very important is burp your babies. Your baby's tummy is so little, and their body is just still getting so used to being in the outside world, and so it is so easy for them to like fill up with gas and air bubbles, and it makes them extremely uncomfortable. So make sure that you are burping your baby right after you feed, and honestly right before you feed too if they need it. It'll seriously make all the difference for a happy baby. And the last thing is, you will never understand the love you have for someone until you have a baby. It's literally indescribable. Enjoy it, embrace it. It is seriously so wonderful. I really hope that this video gave you more confidence in having a baby. It is seriously the most wonderful, amazing, hard, craziest experience that you will ever do. And also, if you are a mama, make sure to leave down different things that you wish you knew before you had your baby. Definitely make sure you check out Maddie and Katie's channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next one. Bye guys.